present For the Record with Neil Heinen.
Celebrating Madison's 3 Latin American sister cities. That's next on For the Record. Good morning, everyone. I'm Susan Siman, filling in today for Neil Heinen. Thanks so much for joining us. Sister city relationships are created to provide a forum for the exchange of ideas and views and to form friendships and connections. Madison's first sister city relationship was created in 1986 with Arcatao, El Salvador, one of 3 Madison Latin American sister cities that we'll be talking about today. I welcome to For the Record this morning Joan Lorian for Arcatao. Joan, nice to see you.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you so much for being here. Dr. Bernie Mickey is here to talk about Camaguey, Cuba. Bernie, welcome.
Thank you.
Nice to see you. And Salvador Carranza for Tepatitlan, Mexico. Did I get that, Sal?
Yes, you got it right. You can call me Sal. That's fine. Thank you very much.
Welcome to all of you.
For having us here.
Thank you for being here for this little mini United Nations version of For the Record. Before we talk about your individual communities and the fascinating projects that are going on in all of them, let's talk a little bit about the Sister City project itself in Madison. What was the inspiration for it, Sal?
Well, as you mentioned, I think Arcatao would be best to talk in Camaguey because they were the first sister cities.
Okay.
Part of it was an effort to try to welcome, in the case of Arcatao, I believe, in the case of a sanctuary to people that were, actually trying to find safety from this situation in the war in El Salvador after Archbishop Romero was actually killed. So they were, kind of welcoming all those people that were coming here. That's how they decided to do a sister city to start supporting the communities over there in El Salvador.
So Arcatao was Madison's first sister city?
Correct, yeah, 33 years ago.
And how did that all come about?
Arcatao was under siege by the Salvadoran government, and there were church leaders and not-for-profit organizations that were very, very concerned about this, and they were looking for an American city that would sister with Arcatao to bring some international awareness. And Madison stepped up. Joe Sensenbrenner was mayor, and they said yes, and we were the first Madison sister city.
And that was 31 years ago.
33 years ago.
33 years ago. And what about Camaguey, Bernie? How did that happen?
Well, Camaguey started with Ricardo Gonzalez, who was born in Camaguey and migrated to Florida when he was with his family. Of course, when he was 13, he developed an interest in getting back to his roots and started the sister city, I think in 1995. So.
And today there are how many sister cities with us?
We have 9 sister cities now.
That's incredible.
Yes.
It is a formal program that is sponsored by the Madison City Council, but it's mostly funded by its members. Is that right?
We do receive funding from the city. So every one of our sister cities receives funding so we can start working. But we also have fundraisers. We also have other sources to help, in the exchange and the friendship with our sister cities.
And were all of you instrumental in bringing your individual communities to the Sister City program, or did you get involved by joining the individual groups?
Yeah, I've only been involved probably for the last 15 years, and it's 33 years old.
Yeah.
But there are people in the organization that were instrumental at the beginning, and probably some of your viewers were part of that effort as well.
So you don't necessarily have to be of the heritage to join a Sister City program, do you? Can you join just if you have general interest in Cuba or Mexico?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, people are welcome. In our, we have an executive committee, for example, with Tepatitlan, and not all of them are Mexican, because they have interest in the things that we do. Same with Arcatao, same with El Salvador and Camaguey, and some with a lot of the other sister cities as well.
And how often do you meet? And where do you get together?
Well, the Madison Camaguey Sister City has quarterly meetings, usually at the main library downtown. So.
And how about Arcatao?
We meet monthly.
You meet monthly.
We have a steering committee that meets monthly, and then we've got all kinds of different activities that happen during the year, including delegations.
Well, let's talk a little bit about your individual sister cities, and let's start with Arcatao.
Great.
Where in El Salvador is Arcatao located?
It's on the far, far, far eastern part of El Salvador, up in the mountains. You can actually walk to Honduras from Arcatao.
Oh, really? So right on the Honduran border.
Right.
And what do we have in common? What does Madison, Wisconsin and Arcatao have in common?
One of the efforts that we worked on together was anti-mining work, because gold mining is a huge problem in El Salvador, not any longer, but we also have had that how do you say that? Gogebic taconite mine that we were addressing in northern Wisconsin for a long time, and we were working on anti-mining issues together.
You also have a special project in coordination with Edgewood College here in Madison. Tell us about that.
We do. Luckily, two of our members are also involved with a class at Edgewood College, and one of them is a professor, Ian Davies, and they teach about El Salvador and about Arcatao, and then they all go to El Salvador every other year. So there's a group of, I think there was almost 20 kids that went this year.
Oh, wow. And, how much time do they spend there?
About 10 days. And we have, U.S. El Salvador Sisters is a group of 16 cities in the United States that are sistered with cities in El Salvador, and we have staff in El Salvador, and they lead those delegations. So they lead the kids all over the country and then to Arcatao.
What do you hear from those students when they come back?
Amazing stories. They're so changed by what they see in individual family lives, as well as the level of organization that people in the organized communities in El Salvador show, and what it means to accompany those communities and for them to accompany us as we move along in our progress.
How deep are these relationships? If I went to any of these communities, if I went to Arcatao and said, I'm from Madison, Wisconsin, would they recognize that? Would there be an understanding of where I'm coming from?
Not only would you be recognized, there would be a banner at the gate when you got there.
And I'm going.
There would be musicians, there would be community gatherings, there would be meals.
Really?
You would be hosted in people's homes. It's a very, very important relationship.
And do people from Arcatao come to Madison as well? So it's reciprocal.
Although it's very difficult for us to get visas for especially young men to come, as you would know, both of you. So we do have visitors occasionally, but it's usually women.
Really?
Yeah, and it's... But yes, we just recently had Rosa Rivera come, and she took back a large painting of Saint Oscar Romero back to her community for the Oscar Romero canonization.
Oh, that sounds great.
It was awesome.
We only have a short time left in this segment. We'll get to you guys. Don't worry about that. But Joan, I want to give you an opportunity to show us what you brought today.
Yeah, there's an embroidery co-op in Arcatao, and the women do a very unusual kind of embroidery. It's pretty rare. It's called colcha embroidery. It's from Spain, and they learned it ages ago when the Spaniards colonized that area. And it's really unusual because it looks the same on both sides.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that. Amazing.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah. And so we sell their embroidery. This is an apron, but we sell, they do T-shirts, and they do all kinds of things that we sell at different fairs during the holiday season.
Oh, that's amazing. And then do we bring Wisconsin products too when we go?
Never. And their own cheese.
I understand you're going. There's another group going.
Yeah.
Is it this summer?
Yeah, this summer. It's a national organization, a national delegation with a focus on migration. So there'll be people from all the different sister cities. It'll probably be a group of 10 to 12. So you're welcome to come, and all your viewers are welcome to come.
I would love to do that. I would love to do that. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about Camaguey, Cuba, and Tepatitlan, Mexico. I tripped on it that time. Yes, right. Not as good as the first time. Stay with us, everyone. We'll be right back after a short break.
For the Record, sponsored by MG&E, your community energy company.
Hello, folks. I'm Rosalie Michaels, and I'm here with former Dallas Cowboys quarterback Danny White, and we're talking about home safety. Thanks so much for coming in, Danny.
Thanks for inviting me.
I heard that you've been working to come up with an offer to help people protect their homes. Is that right?
That's right. Our mission is to ensure that everyone receives the protection that they need. So we're offering a brand new home security system $850 value, free of charge.
And it's kind of hard to beat free. So tell us about monitoring.
Well, you get 24/7 monitoring for burglar, fire, and medical emergencies from ADT, the #1 home security company in America. And monitoring is about $1 a day. There's no better investment you can make for the things that matter most. The first 20 callers to order will receive a $100 Visa gift card plus 2 wireless keychain remotes free of charge. So call now and we'll help you protect your home.
To get this special offer, call 855-549-1430. That's 855-549-1430.
It is nice.
Yeah, but are we a van family?
Are we a van family? Of course you are.
The van just talks.
Sales guy. Is it magic? No, it's a Pacifica. Allow me to do a little self-promotion.
It also comes in a hybrid.
Yo, what's up? Van life. You know you want it.
But does it ever shut up?
Off the lot, baby. I was singing to you on the way home. Pacifica.
During the spring sales event, well-qualified returning lessees get a low-mileage lease on the 2019 Pacifica for $329 a month.
5,000 years of Chinese music and dance in one night. Incredible, groundbreaking, a cultural phenomenon. A must-see, Shenyun. Coming to Overture Center for the Arts, May 7th and 8th. Tickets at shenyun.com/Madison or call 800-800-4410.
Welcome back to For the Record, everyone. We're talking about our celebration of Madison's Sister Cities program. So, Ernie, let's talk about Camaguey a little bit. What year did it become a sister city?
1994.
And where on the island of Cuba is Camaguey?
It's really right in the middle, north-south and east-west.
It's a very old city, is that right?
It is. It's one of the 7 cities that the Spaniards initiated, colonized. They actually started on the coast, but the area was just not habitable, so they moved it to the interior of the country. So,
how did it become a sister city with us?
Well, the main person that instigated this was Ricardo Gonzalez, who used to own the Cardinal Bar. Mm-hmm. He was born in Camaguey, and his family left in the 1959 or 60, and after living in the United States and growing up and going to college and everything, he had an interest in reestablishing his relationship with all of his cousins, as it were. Mm-hmm. And so he was an alder at the time, and started the work to get the sister city established. So.
And I'm curious how that relationship is received. When you pitch it to your individual communities, is it a hard sell, or are they enthusiastic right from the beginning?
No, I mean, it's been a very welcoming situation, much like the situation in Arcatao. You know, there's a lot of different types of levels of communication. There's a lot of art and music that's exchanged, and so.
Well, I think Wisconsinites are sort of fascinated by Cuba, maybe because it's so accessible, it's so close to us, and there are a lot of similarities, I understand. Did I read that they call Camaguey Cuba's Dairyland?
Yeah, exactly.
Now, why is that?
Well, it is.
It's agricultural
and cattle and dairy. I mean, just beyond beef cattle.
So, is the landscape similar to ours?
Yeah, it's you know, flat and. Yeah, I mean, it's very useful as agricultural land. Yeah.
Well, that's very interesting. Now, you have a fascinating project going on in Camaguey, the Wisconsin Medical Project.
Right.
Tell us about that.
Well, in 2002, when George Bush started initiating some very hard relationships with Cuba, he cut out the sister city visits. And so we had learned that in our visits that the Cuban health system was really very excellent. It's it's based on prevention, it's primary care, all free to everybody, but they were very, we toured some of the hospitals as a physician, and it was evident they were doing great stuff, but had not always the enough equipment or best equipment or current equipment. So that was a focus of our efforts. And then when the Sister City relationship was halted, we sort of reestablished ourselves as an NGO that could apply for licenses from our government for export to Cuba for humanitarian purposes, and we've been doing that ever since. In the last several years now, the Sister City has been able to kind of be reestablished, as well as the medical projects, so we both partner and kind of go together, as it were.
I think it might be interesting for some people to hear that the medical system in Cuba is as good as you say. It's a communist country. I think that people might find that interesting, that people there are very happy with it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's one of the key things that I think people learn when they go. I mean, because we go to all the hospitals, we go to a little corner clinic and all the different levels of care that they have. And I think that's, what I hear back, that we really, that people who go with us, that's what they mostly get out of it, is learn about the system. And even, the primary care doctor who was assigned an area of the city or small rural clinic, not only is it medical, it's also the environment, the social aspect of people's lives. So I mean, they're very studious about knowing who has this disease, who has that disease, and people are basically they want everybody to come into the clinic on a schedule, like 4 times a year, for instance, or if they don't and there's something going on, the doctor and the nurse go out and find them.
Interesting.
So it's a different system in the sense that if you're living on that side of the city, you don't go to a different doctor. You go to one in your area. But they develop a relationship with the community that they take care of.
Does the trade embargo in Cuba affect the Sister City relationship in any way? Is Cuba getting a little bit easier to navigate and evolving and changing, or has it always been the same?
Well, you always have had to have a program when you go to Cuba. President Obama loosened that a little bit so that individuals could more or less go on their own, but still, as been in the past, you need a program. You need to show to their government and our government that you account for your time there. You can't really go as a tourist. So,
Well, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to head to Mexico. And we'll tell you more about how you can get involved in the upcoming Sister City celebration when we come back.
Spas. The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is this weekend only. Rose and Rose of Spas, Hot Tubs, and Swim Spas. The largest display in the state. Save up to 60% on all in-stock models. This weekend only in the Exhibition Hall at the Alliant Energy Center, Madison.
Oh no, did I miss the exit?
Hey pal, you look a little lost. What? You know your smartphone has GPS, don't you?
Yeah, but I'm driving right now. Let's text your sister to see if she's texting. Okay, look, I'll help. I've got a map. Okay. I am done with this distraction.
Not my hairdryer.
Hey, no! Ah, that's distracting. Okay, Uncle.
Focus on driving, not the distractor.
Find me a new driver.
Get lost.
Do you want a truck that does one thing, or a truck that does them all? A truck that's skilled enough to be all-seeing, smart enough to be all-knowing, strong enough to be all-powerful, The all-new Ram 1500, Motor Trend's 2019 Truck of the Year. Come in now during the Ram Spring Sales Event.
Or well-qualified returning lessees get a low-mileage lease on the 2019 Ram 1500 for $279 a month.
Quit throwing money away. Save money instead. Bring your own phone to U.S. Cellular. We'll pay off your contract, plus give you an extra $150 to switch. It's time to stop wasting money. You heard right. Keep your phone when you switch to U.S. Cellular. We'll pay off your contract, plus give you an extra $150.
Spas. The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is this weekend only. Rose and Rose of Spas, Hot Tubs, and Swim Spas. The largest display in the state. Save up to 60% on all in-stock models. This weekend only in the Exhibition Hall of the Alliant Energy Center, Madison.
Welcome back, everyone, to For the Record. We're talking about the celebration of the Sister City program in Mexico, in Madison, and now we're moving to Mexico. Sal, tell us a little bit about Tepatitlan.
Well, Tepatitlan is in the region of the state of Jalisco, which is called the Los Altos, which means the highlands of Jalisco. For people that want to place that, is where all the tequila in Mexico is made.
That's where the agave grows.
Actually, where the blue agave grows. If it doesn't grow in that region, it's not tequila.
That's
so
interesting.
you cannot call it tequila unless it has been grown in that region, because that's the particular agave that they use for the tequila.
Very interesting. And how did it become a sister city?
Well, that's a very interesting, background. I don't know if people know, but the state of Jalisco and the state of Wisconsin has been sister states since the 70s. So the farmers in Tepatitlan, especially dairy farmers, have had a very close relationship with Madison. They come to the Dairy Expo almost every year. They have had, winning cattle here. And so in 1980, when was it? 1996, Governor Doyle at the time decided to have a trade mission to Mexico. Among them was a trade mission to Jalisco and the city of Guadalajara. And they asked me, I work for the university, that it was great if our university system here in Wisconsin had also a partnership with the university system of the University of Guadalajara. So we went over there. The University of Guadalajara has a campus in Tepatitlan. It's called Cuartos.
So it's all connected.
Actually, it's all connected. One of the things that we did is, we actually gifted them with their testing lab for dairy. And it's named after what used to be at the time the Secretary of the Department of Agriculture, Trade and Consumer Protection, Ron Nielsen-Stuen, and the lab is named after him. So we signed an agreement, renewed the sister state agreement with Jalisco and Wisconsin, and at the same time we signed an agreement between the University of Guadalajara system and the University of Wisconsin system.
See, that speaks to how it's almost faded, how connected in the world we all are.
Absolutely.
The world is so small.
And then what happened is we were visiting the Cuartos campus, which is a beautiful campus actually, and they have dairy programs there, they have medical programs, nursing programs, and the mayor of Tepatitlan asked Governor Doyle, it would be great if we would have a sister city with your state. So Governor Doyle asked me and said, could you look into it? I said, sure. And with the help of a lot of our community members, including Shiva Vidar Silaf, which is an elder, we managed to move forward the sister city, to be approved by the Common Council in 2012.
I know one of the events you've done is a tequila tasting.
We did. We actually did. The first event that we did, and we brought an expert, a tequila expert that did a tequila tasting and explained, just like wine, explain what are the different kinds of tequilas, the difference between just reposado, añejo, white, and so on. So it was a great project.
So that's the benefit for us. What do the residents of Tepatitlan get out of the sister city relationship?
Well, we have several projects with them, just like all the other sister cities. One of the main projects we have is really art.
Yeah.
So
tell us about that.
Our local muralist, Sharon Kilfoy, who is a member of our committee, had been there visiting, and they asked her if she, through the Sister City, would paint a mural in one of their elementary schools. So she went over there and painted a beautiful mural in an elementary school in this very, low economic poverty area. But these are great kids and great community.
Oh,
so she painted a beautiful mural over there. So Tepatitlan, the mayor, in exchange, sent their top muralist to Madison to paint a mural that was at the municipal building until they remodeled. Now we're trying to find a new place for them.
Oh, okay, that's
we might
good to
put
know.
it at East High School, which I already talked to the principal. But there's a beautiful 8 by 26 mural about the city of Madison. The muralist came and talked to people, looked at the history of Madison, and really painted what he saw and he felt was Madison.
Oh, that's fabulous.
So it's a beautiful mural.
And is it the same as Joan said, if I went to Tepatitlan, would I have the same reaction from people if I said I'm from Madison, Wisconsin?
Absolutely. They have a strong relationship, especially with the dairy farmers. They have a strong relationship with the university as well. So if you go there, everybody will know where Wisconsin is, actually.
Oh, wow.
More than I did when I came first to Wisconsin.
I want to go to all three of these places. If you're interested in learning more about the Madison Sister Cities program, or if you'd like to get involved in any way, there is an event coming up Saturday. It is April 27th from 5 to 8 at the Madison College Truax campus. To buy tickets, there is the website, and you can learn all about finding out how our world is a very small place and how you can get involved to make a significant difference. We'll take a quick break and we'll wrap up For the Record this morning when we come back. You got...
This is an exciting time in the energy industry.
The world is changing, and we want to work toward common goals.
Toward a cleaner energy future, driven by innovation, powered by working together.
By working with customers, we provide customers what they want.
MG&E is your community energy company for the future, powering our community, sharing your values, partnering to meet your needs. Visit Energy2030together.com to create a more sustainable future together.
Update your floors with Empire Today's $50 room sale. Buy one room, get floors for all other rooms for just $50 each. So when you buy one room, it's only $50 for laminate in the kitchen, $50 for carpet in the bedroom, and $50 for hardwood in the office. There's no limit. Buy one room, and it's $50 for floors in each additional room. Schedule now.
800-588-2300 Empire.
Today.
Buy an Egg McMuffin or Sausage, Egg, and Cheese McGriddles and get one free.
There's a better way to breakfast.
We're now the #1 volume Mitsubishi dealer in the nation. It's time for something big. This month, get a minimum of $4,060 for any trade at Max City Mitsubishi. We need something bigger. It needs to have max warranty, our 30-year, 300,000-mile warranty on new and used vehicles. And don't forget about credit amnesty. If you bring home $350 a week, you could get $30 grand in credit. Hey, everybody, it's Max.
He's born to represent max savings, max warranty, and max credit amount. At Max City Mitsubishi.
Coming up Monday morning, we'll tell you how you can get your girls interested in coding.
And with Shopko closing its doors, we'll show you what you need to look out for when you're trying to get a good deal at the liquidation sales that's starting at 4:30 on News 3 Now this morning.
Thanks to my Madison Latin America Sister Cities guests this morning. Thank you all for being here. It was a fascinating conversation.
Thank you.
And thanks to all of you for watching as well. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everyone.